Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and this is episode 3's review for Daredevil Born Again. Now, the first two episodes, as I said, were, for me, meh. You know, the performances, for the most part, were good and all that kind of stuff. This episode is flat out boring, and I think this is the episode for normies who are kind of not knowing whether to stay with it or leave it. I think this is the episode that will make up their minds, because nothing happens. This is a trial episode, and it's Hector's trial, who is, I suppose, spoiler if you didn't see the first two episodes or know this, he is the White Tiger. And this episode should have just been called ACAB, because that is all this episode is. It truly is trying to paint pretty much all cops as being corrupt and evil and the bad guys, basically. That is what this episode truly is. We even get a moment of, oh, Hector's not going to get a fair trial because he's Puerto Rican. Yeah, they threw in an old racisms, because why wouldn't you? Now, the cops who Matt Murdock bet the living bejesus out of in the last episode, at the end of the second episode, where it clearly looked like he killed them. I mean, you're hearing like what sounded like necks breaking stuff. Well, no, they're alive. Well, at least one of them's alive. We only meet the one, which is the corrupt cop that was on the platform that was getting stopped by Hector. But he immediately comes and speaks with Matt Murdock in the bathroom, and they're just like having a back and forth. There's very little Kingpin in this episode. I think there's only 3 scenes with him. One is him eating a meal. He always seems to be eating in the show, but he's eating, talking with Vanessa, and she's kind of pushing for keeping the business going, and he's saying he's making moves for bigger things. And this is after the opening of a truck heist where the 2 guys in the truck were murdered, and it's basically because Kingpin isn't running the show and he's removed Vanessa from doing it. They're all kind of turning on each other and doing their own thing. The next scene with him is him and Vanessa again, and it's at therapy, and the last scene is him wanting to speak with BB Urich report crap. There's only 2 parts of those, and they're both stupid. The first one is after the truck heist, and it's some old dude just saying, oh, if someone tries to rob me, I stick a gun to their head. And the next one is where we get the racisms moment of this guy going, oh, Hector's not going to get a fair trial because he's Puerto Rican. It's just like, Jesus Christ. And that BB report thing that pops up in the show is terrible. I hate it. It immediately takes you out of the show. The whole trial is done in this episode, like from start to finish. It's like there's next to nothing happening. Matt in the previous episode convinced the judge that you can't reveal that Hector is White Tiger, and then because they get the star witness, the guy who the cops were actually kicking the shit out of on the platform, who, because all these cops are sitting there staring at him, he decides to say he wasn't on the platform. Matt's only option is to put Hector on the stand and reveal that he's the White Tiger. And it's so stupid. Now, not just, that's basically the episode, and he's found not guilty, but there is something that happens at the end. But, should I spoil it? No, I won't spoil it. But the big takeaway from this episode with what they're doing is, as I said, they're painting cops as being bad, but they're also trying to justify why Marvel have changed the Punisher logo. That's right. Now, Punisher isn't in this. At least you don't think he is. There is a moment at the end where we do see the logo on a chest, but it's like, well, is that the Punisher or isn't it? And if it is, what's he doing? The cops. I can't remember whether I said this in the last review for the other 2 episodes, that one of the corrupt cops had a tattoo on his wrist that looked like the Punisher skull. That's confirmed now that they are Punisher skulls, because a cop in the courtroom turns around to say something to another cop, which was about this idea of the cops need to get that witness before they can get him to the stand. And he's got a great big dirty Punisher skull tattoo on his neck. This is Marvel doing their best to say, see, this is why we changed the skull, because the corrupt police use it. Whether or not that skull is going to get changed in this show, don't know. But they have directly linked the Punisher skull to corrupt police. That is what Marvel have done, and that is what they've used this episode to cement in their whole thing for this skull is corruption and shouldn't be used. Is, oh look, all the evil cops have it and stuff. Now, the other thing is, to get the star witness to the trial, Cherry, who miraculously finds him, also gives him drugs just to get him to the stand. It's like, okay. But the cops have tabs on Cherry by the looks of it, and they follow them. And the cop who pulls him over is the cop who was kicking the hell out of him on the platform. I should say, pull over the van that he's meant to be in the back of, and he's like, open the van up, and they open it up, and he's not there because they actually stuck him in a taxi to get to the court and stuff like that. But overall, the entire episode truly is just this painting of all cops are bad, and they all use the Punisher logo. That's why the Punisher logo was bad. Nothing really happens in the episode. There's no action or anything like that. There's no fighting scenes, anything like that. It's literally sitting in a courtroom for the majority, talking garbage and gobbledygook and just, oh, White Tiger is him, and oh, isn't he great, and crap like that. That's all the episode is. So, not a good episode. Very slow, very boring, and very predictable in terms of, oh, you're just trying to paint the cops out to be evil. All cops. Yeah, not a good episode. There's really nothing else to say about it, because it truly was bad. And I think if the first two episodes could only pull in 7.5 views over 5 days, I think this episode's going to do a lot worse. We'll wait and see. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.